When it comes to UFC fighters getting into trouble outside the Octagon, one name seems to appear time and time again: Conor McGregor. Whether it's Italian DJs, old men in pubs, or Irish gang members, Conor McGregor has been involved in a lot of fights that aren't on his record. And as the biggest star in MMA, he's pretty much untouchable.
Now this is who you're trying to routinely get into conflicts with. Dude, something's wrong with you.
He goes from one drama to another, knocks out random people, breaks celebrities' noses, and seemingly does whatever he wants. And no matter what, it always ends badly for whoever is in his way. So these are the times strangers tried to fight Conor McGregor. In 2019, Conor McGregor had begun going a little off the rails. He just lost the big grudge match to Khabib, had the whole bus incident, and news soon broke of yet another drama. Video footage of McGregor attacking a 50-year-old man at the Marble Arch pub in Dublin went viral. The story was that McGregor offered everyone in the pub a shot of his proper 12 whiskey, but the guy in question refused, saying he didn't want to drink McGregor's whiskey, and in McGregor's mind, that warranted him receiving a sucker punch.
You are a pro fighter anytime and you start using your pro fighting skills against civilians, against mere mortals who are not threatening you, who are not posing any immediate, like you're not defending yourself or somebody else. It's not like, you know, somebody stopping a carjacking, stopping a crime in progress using their martial arts skills. You're just bullying.
Somehow, the guy took a clean left hand from Conor McGregor and remained on his stool, having barely flinched. McGregor later appeared in court, pleading guilty and being fined over $1,000, which is essentially nothing to him. But weirdly enough, that wasn't the end of the story. 2 years later, Conor McGregor bought the exact same pub for around $1.5 million and took to Twitter to let the world know that the guy he punched wouldn't be allowed in. In response, the man said McGregor was a bully with a lot of money and that he had no intention of going back to the pub if Conor was the owner anyway. Conor tried to knock the pub down and turn it into a large apartment building, but his plans were rejected. From what we can see, the pub has been closed for numerous years. But speaking of alcohol, it usually plays a central part to Conor's drama, just like the time he fought an Italian DJ and broke his nose. It was late 2021, and Conor McGregor alongside his partner Dee Devlin were in Rome to get their son baptized at the Vatican. Of course, being such a wholesome, family-oriented and religious trip, you'd imagine nothing could go wrong. But this is Conor McGregor we're talking about after all. A story broke that Conor had broken the nose of a famous Italian DJ and TV personality, Francesco Facchinetti, at a party.
The two were hanging out after McGregor had one of his children baptized at the Vatican, if you can believe that.
Wow.
And everything was fine and it was going well, and then I guess McGregor had invited the DJ to another party, and when he said yes, he punched him in the face, according to the Italian DJ's girlfriend.
According to the victim, he and his partner were chatting to Conor and Dee for over 2 hours at this party. They spoke about everything from Italy, yachts, music, and much more.
And after 30 minutes, Mr. McGregor went inside the room and we screamed, "Hey! Conor, nice to meet you. Francesco, she's my wife, Vilma," and everything was perfect, you know, a perfect night. We spent more than 2 hours speak about everything.
But apparently, once the party was beginning to end, Conor started getting a bit agitated, especially so when American actress Bella Thorne said they had to leave. He then invited Francesco to another party, but when the Italian accepted, Conor randomly punched him in the face without warning.
When your brain turned off immediately, in 1 second, and he punched me in my face. It's like that, okay? We are speaking, you know, imagine if you are in front of me and you speak with me for 2 hours and chilling and smiling, and I punch you after 2 hours, out of the blue.
The DJ suffered a broken nose, split lip, and a concussion, all from the single strike. In response, Francesco pressed charges against McGregor in Italy. He claimed he wasn't after the money, but just wanted to highlight that Conor was unhinged, dangerous, and not to be trusted. In the end, the investigation went cold and McGregor got away with it again. But while these stories were years in the past, Conor was recently involved in yet another incident where he attacked a guy in a club. In June 2025, McGregor flew his entire football team out to the Spanish party island of Ibiza to celebrate winning their local league title. Yes, Conor is playing recreational football every weekend in Ireland instead of fighting professionally. He was pictured in the island's most notorious destination, Ocean Beach Club, with its owner, TV personalities, Premier League football stars, and more. But while on that trip, perhaps that very same evening, McGregor threw 2 punches and floored a man at 6 a.m. in the world-famous nightclub Pacha. It turns out, this guy was an employee at the very same beach club Conor was at. We're not entirely sure why Conor decided to throw a punch, but he did post a cryptic message on Twitter that suggests the man said something against his home country of Ireland. It's unfortunately yet another case of Conor McGregor out partying, away from his family, and up to no good.
Look at the state of this man. His rap sheet on the number of incidents, we just went over the Ibiza one, but his rap sheet on the number of incidents beyond that is extensive at this point. And by the way, there do appear to be, at least in the case of this one or the guy he punched in a bar or something else, just commonalities where, or how about the Italian DJ that he hauled off on and messed up out of nowhere? There are, again, allegedly, there just appears to be, real signs that this guy's got a hair trigger. He'll punch people at the drop of a hat.
Currently, no charges have been pressed by the other gentleman, and this incident will just be swept under the rug like so many others, much like when he tried to fight music star Machine Gun Kelly. Back in 2021, both men were at the VMA Music Awards. The two didn't know each other, with their only prior interaction being that MGK often attends UFC events and was even in the crowd for one of Conor's previous fights. But that was soon all about to change, because videos surfaced of McGregor who tried to attack the rapper, throw a punch, and launch a drink at him. At the time, Conor was still on a cane following his leg break, and you can see how close he came to almost falling over as a result. According to the rumors, Conor asked Machine Gun Kelly for a photo, but for whatever reason was refused.
There's a rumor that, and I don't buy this in any facet, there's a rumor that Conor asked Machine Gun Kelly for a picture. Machine Gun Kelly turned him down, and then one of his security guards got overzealous, bumped into Conor, spilled a drink. And then obviously Conor McGregor, freaked out. The other thing is they just had words, and one of Machine Gun Kelly's people got too crazy and bumped into Conor, spilled the drink, and Conor thought it was Machine Gun Kelly and then went after him.
And of course, McGregor's ego got the better of him, so he decided attacking MGK was an appropriate response. The situation calmed down pretty quickly, with both men ending up on stage at separate times, with Conor giving an award away and MGK performing. But later on that evening, Conor tried to dismiss the situation, saying he only fights real fighters.
What happened?
Absolutely nothing. I don't know. I just showed up and I don't know. I don't even know the guy, to be honest with you.
Just rumors?
Just rumours. Nothing happened with me. I only fight real fighters, people that actually fight, you know what I mean? I certainly don't fight little vanilla boy rappers. I don't even know the guy. I don't know anything about him, except that he's with Megan Fox.
Given all the stories we've highlighted so far, saying he only fights real fighters is rather ironic. He's probably fortunate his leg was broken and his movement compromised, because if he actually punched MGK with hundreds of cameras on him, it could have ended very badly. But outside of the odd drunken tweet that Conor eventually deletes, the drama between the two was thankfully limited to just this one evening. And speaking of McGregor saying he only fights real fighters, we have to mention both the UFC 223 bus incident and the 229 brawl. While not a street fight per se, we all know how this one played out. It was UFC 223 in Brooklyn, and Conor's soon-to-be rival Khabib Nurmagomedov was caught on camera intimidating his then teammate Artem Lobov. In response, Conor hopped on a plane with a bunch of friends, broke into the arena, tracked down Khabib, and it all kicked off. But the big collateral damage was that the glass cut both Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg's face, who were supposed to fight just a day or two later. They had to be pulled from their fight, as did Artem Lobov for being involved in the situation. It was probably the wildest fight week in UFC history, and Dana White was not happy.
Everybody's shaken up when 30 thugs storm these guys are all cutting weight and getting ready for a fight. This is the most disgusting thing that has ever happened in the history of the company. And there is a warrant out for Conor McGregor's arrest, and they're looking for him right now. His plane cannot take off. He cannot leave the state of New York.
McGregor was charged with 3 counts of assault amongst other things. He was released on a $50,000 bail, had to attend anger management classes, and perform community service. But maybe his future opponent Khabib should have joined him at anger management, because after their fight, the Russian's emotions definitely got the better of him. While Khabib initiated the brawl, trouble came Conor McGregor's way whether he wanted it or not. Both the UFC fighter Zubaira and then PFL fighter Abubakar Nurmagomedov climbed the octagon to attack McGregor. Despite being tired and having just lost a 4-round fight, Conor still managed to land some serious shots of his own. Funnily enough, Abubakar, who goes by the nickname Manap, came out of the ordeal with a big black eye of his own.
He got punched on the cage, and he had a black eye. He had a black eye. So he came to practice on Monday. I go, hey, he's what? What, brother, what? I said, Conor McGregor went upside your head, huh? He was mad at me because he had the biggest black eye. He kind of got him with a good one. On the side of the octagon, exhausted, he got him with a good one because Manap had a big old black eye. I said, Conor went upside your head, huh? He's like, brother, don't say this, please.
In the end, McGregor was fined $50,000 and suspended for 6 months, which actually seems pretty harsh considering he didn't do much outside of defending himself. Khabib, on the other hand, had to pay $500,000 for starting perhaps the craziest post-fight moment in UFC history. But someone else who unexpectedly felt the full force of Conor McGregor's left hand was former boxing world champion Paulie Malginaggi. Ahead of fighting Floyd Mayweather in a super fight, Conor needed some real boxing experience. As a result, he organized for former world champion Paulie Malginaggi to spar him as a litmus test for his ability and conditioning. But in combat sports, there's an unwritten rule. What happens in the gym stays in the gym. It's an unsaid code that fighters almost always follow. But in this situation, Team McGregor did the exact opposite, posting a very short clip of Conor's spar with Paulie. And of course, it was one that made their guy look dominant.
I didn't think it was really that quick, but he's very quick with it. That's his bread and butter.
For Malginaggi, this was incredibly embarrassing. The fact that he got knocked down was bad enough, but for it to be posted everywhere and used as fight promotion is a true slap in the face. Paulie claimed that he was under the impression he was just going to have a light spar with Conor. Then when the fight actually began, Malginaggi said he felt ambushed by McGregor's true intentions of making an example out of him.
Fresh off the plane, and then he sparred 12 rounds. So he's like, they just did me dirty, man. That's his whole thing. His feelings are hurt. He's like, why would they do that, man? I was here to help him.
Well, they did that's the kind of help they wanted. They just wanted kind of help that he didn't want to give. They wanted the kind of help where Conor beats the fuck out of a world champion.
Correct, and that's what Conor said, though.
Yeah.
Like, in Conor's defense, when they go, oh, you're bringing Paulie in, he goes, yeah, I'm bringing, he says on Showtime during the media scrum, he goes, yeah, I'm bringing him in to fuck him up.
Both men claimed they beat the brakes off one another, and it of course caused a huge rift between the two men. So with Paulie working for Showtime, a promoter of Conor's fight with Floyd, the two ran into each other numerous times, and there was too much water under the bridge.
Did you bring your balls? Did you bring your balls, Conor? Remember, did you bring your balls, Conor? Get over it. Did you bring your balls, Conor? Did you bring your balls, Conor? All sparring. Remember what I said? When you quit like a bitch, Saturday. I'm a fighter, relax. Bring your balls Saturday, pussy. Remember what I said in the gym. Remember what I said in the gym?
The two never ended up having an actual boxing match, but instead Paulie took on Conor's former teammate Artem Lobov in a bare-knuckle boxing fight on his behalf. And somehow, someway, the journeyman MMA fighter was able to beat a two-time world boxing champion in bare-knuckle to settle their beef for good.
Only, all score of the fight, 48-47, to the winner, by unanimous decision, Artem, the Russian Hammer!
But outside of the octagon or boxing ring, Conor McGregor has had some serious run-ins with a notorious Irish drug cartel that even led to a rumored price tag put on his head. In Ireland, and specifically the area of Crumlin where McGregor grew up, one family name rules supreme, the Kinahans. They're a world-renowned drug gang with an estimated net worth of over $1 billion and have been behind dozens of murders.
The Kinahan transnational criminal organization joins the ranks of Italy's Camorra, Mexico's Los Zetas, Japan's Yakuza, and Russia's thieves-in-law.
With a rival clan, which has caused almost 20 murders across Europe since 2016.
Through growing up in the same areas, going to the same boxing gyms, McGregor and links to the Kinahan family have popped up throughout the years. But in 2017, rumors started circulating that McGregor had a pub brawl with someone closely associated with the Kinahan gang. Some media outlets speculated that the cartel had put a bounty on McGregor's head for around $1 million.
People that I know in Dublin and that are blowing me up are saying, dude, it's real. Conor's in a bit of trouble because he has a friend from one area of Ireland that's in this mafia and that got beat up by these guys. Conor finds out the guys who beat up his friend are in this bar, so Conor comes in there, beats the hell out of that guy. Well, that guy's associated with this, pretty intense mafia family over there, so now there's a hit out on Conor is what they're saying.
What?
Yes, for 900 grand.
Of course, no one tried to collect that bounty, and rumor or not, something was clearly going on because McGregor posted a tongue-in-cheek tweet claiming he is the cartel. After that, the situation died down and McGregor is actually friendly with the Kinahan group. His sister was partnered with a convicted drug dealer and money launderer with close ties to the Kinahans. He's even been pictured partying in his pub with a man convicted for being the getaway driver for a murder carried out by the cartel. So it seems like nowadays they're more friends than foe. And on the entirely opposite end of the spectrum, he's the time Conor McGregor sent a basketball mascot to the hospital. It was Game 4 of the NBA Finals and McGregor was in attendance to watch the Miami Heat. The plan was to have a little pretend play fight between the two in order to promote McGregor's new pain relief spray, but it went a little further than just a skit.
I mean, what are those mascot things made out of, unless you're like the Golden Knights mascot, I wouldn't be, I don't even know what the hell he wears, but I'm assuming it's a metal helmet. I wouldn't have professional fighters punching me in the face if I was a mascot. And doesn't seem like the brightest thing in the world.
He hit the poor mascot with two huge left hands and ended up being booed by the crowd. And unsurprisingly, the guy behind the mascot outfit was actually hurt and had to go to the hospital to make sure everything was all okay. It just goes to show that even in an organized fake fight with Conor McGregor with a costume of padding, you're not safe from his wild ways. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our deep dive into McGregor's wild antics, go hit subscribe. We're getting close to 50,000 subscribers and would love it if you could help us hit that number. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.